to the Wednesday warm-up. I am your host, Lee, and the Wednesday warm-up is powered by the Insights Show. So I'm feeling a little bit disorientated this morning because my co-host is not yet in studio. Apparently, I get word that he is around the building somewhere. I do not know why he wouldn't be in studio, though. Does he not know that Wednesdays are for the Wednesday warm-up and that he has to co-host with me? Jesse, if you are watching this right now, or if anybody's watching this that has Jesse's number, please can you let him know that we are in studio. Thank you very much. But anyway, everybody, good morning and welcome to the Wednesday warm-up powered by the Insight Show. If you are tuning in for the very first time, thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited. When I say we, I mean me, because my co-host is not here. But my producers over there in the paddock are also very excited because we have a phenomenal guest in studio this morning who I will introduce to you really shortly. But before we continue, may I ask, if you haven't done so already, to please hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Like this video and share it, because you know here on the Insight Show we always bring new insights. But without any further ado, I want to introduce my guest to you because I want to get into conversation, because now I feel really lonely and it feels really awkward just sitting here and like talking to the camera. And I know that people are watching and I'm really grateful for that. But now I want to introduce my guest to you, which you will do for us. But we have a very special guest in the studio this morning, like I previously mentioned. And her name is Deneil Adams. If we can get like maybe a pew, 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 pew. Do we have that there? We don't have it. We don't. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. We have none other than the phenomenal, the spectacular, the absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, radiating, ravish, wonderful Deneil Adams. Pew, 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 pew.
What an introduction.
How was that?
That was great.
Best you've ever had, eh?
Best.
Drake, best you've ever had.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
It's such a pleasure.
I'm truly honored to be here. It's a very beautiful studio. I did mention I'm a bit nervous, but
yeah,
we got this.
No, we got this.
Yes,
but that's the thing, like, you know, when you enter into a new space, and like I said to you earlier, when you feel like, okay, there's a camera, like nobody's in studio, but you know that there's people watching you.
Definitely.
I think that is like a mind effort. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So we are so grateful to have you in studio, Deneil Adams. You are absolutely a phenomenal powerhouse, and honestly, we are in the presence of greatness. But I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself to the audience into that camera there, or you can look at me if you feel nervous. Okay. Who is Deneil Adams? Let us know.
Wow. Okay. So definitely, she is a very strong, independent woman.
Yes.
A mom. And a philanthropist as well. In terms of where I grew up, I'm from El Dorado Park.
Hey, Aldo's in the Izao.
Yes. But fundamentally, I would say very strong, very independent, business-orientated individual. And someone that has gone through a lot, but it doesn't define her.
Yes. It's made you the woman who you are today.
Yes,
like those
definitely.
things that were meant to knock you down was actually the things that you used as building blocks to build yourself up. And we salute you, girl.
I wish we had sound effects.
Honestly. Don't worry, I'll give you the sound effects. I can do it. I'm not great with it. But
No,
you know,
got this.
I can just gooi a little something in there. I normally just do the horn. Pew, 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 pew.
No, you
And
got it.
That's
You're
the
killing
best.
It. You're killing it. I love it.
Awesome. But so I said best you ever had. What is your music preference before we continue? Because I feel like do you like Drake?
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
A little overrated. Certified lover boy. Do you really think so?
He is.
Is he a certified lover boy?
I think for his target market, he is. Yes. But for myself, I'm more into R&B. Love R&B. I'm a piano fan. Because that's what our generation is into right now.
Yeah.
But I love R&B.
Awesome.
Love R&B. But gospel is the focus.
Yes, girl. Come on, Taro.
Yes.
And we just celebrated the past Easter weekend.
Yes.
How was that for you?
Wow. It was amazing. We actually had a production at our church. It was amazing, of the entire crucifixion.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that, and it also opened my eyes to actually see it live, what Christ has done for us, and it's amazing.
That's so awesome. May I ask which church you go to?
I go to CRC.
Okay.
In 4 Ways.
Yes.
It's amazing. I actually just recently joined there. It's about a month now. I've been going, but wow, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. Very welcoming. Just everything about the church.
That's
really
awesome.
Very family orientated.
Yes. No, but I'm so grateful, man, that you were in church and that you could see that. I was speaking to somebody the other day, just now that you're on that topic, and they were saying, like, because our pastor on Friday, Xavier Hendricks, was saying that, he was explaining, like, medically and scientifically what actually happened to Jesus, and many a times, and I'm glad that it was reiterated to you as well in that production, because sometimes I think we forget and we just like leave it as a fairy tale, but if you actually think about the reality of what that was and what it entailed, and it's beautiful that we get to celebrate Easter every single year.
Exactly.
Remember during lockdown, how was it that first, because I think we went into lockdown just before the Easter weekend and there was no church, there was no nothing, so we were all like pent up in our houses.
Yes.
How was that for you?
So I actually run an NGO.
Okay.
It's called God's Gift Foundation.
Yes.
So I do charity work every year around Easter. So it's something that actually stressed me out, because I'm like, okay, how am I going to get out there and give my kids the Easter eggs? So it was very stressful, but thank God I managed to get a permit out, and I actually handed out Easter eggs throughout the entire weekend, which was so great and very liberating. So I won't say it affected me bad. It would have if I wasn't able to do my charity work.
Oh my gosh.
But no, it didn't affect me in a bad way at all.
That's so awesome. Yes. Wow. Look, we already started the show and this girl's got us in our fields on a Wednesday. It's cold outside, but it's warm in here.
Yes, definitely.
So let us get into, because I want to get this, people on the poster, people saw property practitioner, and then they saw social media influencer.
Okay.
And I did a poll, which I normally do on my Instagram the day before our show, and I asked the question. So I actually did a question thingy majiggy. Yeah. And so I asked the question, what do you think tomorrow's topic is about? And I gave 4 options.
Okay.
The first one was load shedding.
Wow.
The other one was property.
Eskom only had one job.
I love how diplomatic they are on 702. They're like, the Dark Lords. Eskom has gained the only service that they provide to us they cannot do. But it's load shedding. Then there was property. And then the third option was retail therapy. Wouldn't that have been nice? Wow, yeah. And then the fourth option was all of the above. We had some really interesting... Majority said load shedding. Okay. Because they thought that's what it was going to be about, because obviously we are on stage for load shedding. And then only 2 people got property correct out of all the people so that was the lowest. Okay. And let me just check who was it. I just want to give a shout out to those people that got it correct. I want to give a shout out to I think it's Chanel Jordan Dunn. Okay. Shout out to you for getting that answer correct. And then Car Guys _SA also got it right. Those were the only 2 people that got it right. Most people said load shedding was number 1, and then second on the list was all of the above. Unfortunately, folks, we are not going to be speaking about load shedding. We are done talking about the stresses in our the stresses in our lives, right? We want to get into this whole thing of property. But look who walked into studio. Deneil. Oh my gosh. Look at the time. What time is it now? 11 minutes past 9. It's 9:11. Hi, Bo Jesse. Load shedding.
No, load shedding.
Hi, Bo. Good morning. Good
morning. Morning, my sister. How are you?
Lovely, man. How are you?
Yes, Slock. I'm amazing, eh?
I'm so glad to
sorry for being late. Just Slock,
No, it's cool, eh? It's cool.
It's tough in these streets, eh? Just Slock.
It really is tough in these streets. But anyway, we're gonna get into it. I want to get into. So Jesse, this is Deneil.
Nice to meet you,
my
Deneil.
co-host Jesse. Seeing that we're doing the introductions now, everybody already met Deneil. You late now. But anyway, we're gonna be speaking about property. Deneil is a property practitioner by profession.
Yes.
Right? I got it right.
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool. Property practitioner by profession. And I was telling you before the show that yesterday when we were going through the show, Jesse and I were like, no, what? Eindelijk. is a property practitioner. Yes. And we were like, is it maybe like an estate agent or you know what? But you are here to set the record straight and let us know what is a property practitioner.
So a property practitioner helps people buy, sell and rent immovable property. So yes, like a real estate agent. So I've actually been in the industry now for 2 months. Surprisingly, yes. And for right now in South Africa, I have actually discovered that the average individual that buys property is actually 34.
What?
Yes, 34. So a lot of young people are actually so stressed as to, I haven't achieved this yet, I haven't achieved that yet. So relax, you know. The highest rate in South Africa of people that buy are between 34 and 43 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, we facilitate sales. We help people. Obviously, with our market, we leverage all our information, all the tools that we have. If you come to me and, Deneil, I need to rent this property, I'm here and I'm able to give you the necessary information that you need. And also, I stand in the gap between the buyer and the seller. So that I can give you all the information that you need. And also, I believe that I have bridged the gap in this industry because a lot of people don't relate to individuals as human beings. It's just a matter of let's get the sale done.
It's a transactional relationship.
Yes. So I'm more in tune. Okay, so let's look at your finances. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. Let's look at the environment that you're looking and buying and all of that. And I'm here to advise you based on the knowledge that I have gained.
Yes.
And like I said, I've only been doing it for 2 months and I have gained so much knowledge. And I actually just done my first rental after doing training and everything.
Yes.
So it's very liberating and I get to meet different people. And I get to interact with people from different backgrounds and all of that. And I'm here to advise you, which obviously is I would love to say my niche right now.
Okay.
It's my thing.
Yes.
I get to know you as an individual and communicate with you like I'm your friend.
Yes.
And we obviously offer so many other information in terms of like credit checks and all of those. Those are the type of things we facilitate.
Yes.
Which is great. And I honestly love what I do. I'm obviously new in the industry.
Yes.
But I feel like there's so much more that I can learn.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I'm also looking forward to meeting different type of people and growing in the industry as well and getting myself out there.
Yes. What's so refreshing for me is that at the onset you mentioned that you take a very hands-on approach to your client relationships, right? Because it's true. I mean, that's how business is now. It's very transactional. Look, we're just here to make money and get the deal done and move forward, right?
Yes.
But I think that especially, and I'm sorry that we have to go back to the whole pandemic, but what this pandemic has taught us is that human element to come back into our interactions, even in business. And I really appreciate the fact that you mentioned that, because it's not something that you would just at the top of your head mention if it wasn't something that you were into. And I guess that ties in with your philanthropy. I wanted to get philanthropical.
Yes.
Is that
I
it?
would like to think so.
Philanthropical nature.
Yes.
Hey, English, it's not our mother's tongue. But it ties in with that. And I guess because of that journey that you've already walked, you understand, although it's renting, selling, buying, and it's property, and it might seem like it has nothing to do with your charity work or with your social media presence, but all these things tie in. They are interlinked, and that's the reason why I want to move over to that part of it, because now we know, okay, you are a property practitioner and this is what you do as a profession. Well, what people would consider a general, this is the profession, but you are also a professional within your in a social media space, right? And so how do you then, because we spoke about the interlinking, but how do you manage it? How do you link it? How do you keep the same energy, is what the young people say, like maintain the energy with social media and your presence on social media, and how does that then integrate into your business or your professional side?
So I believe with my following specifically on social media, I get to leverage off of that.
Yes.
Because someone might be following me and this person might be looking for a house to rent.
Yeah.
Or they might be interested in selling. So that's how I interlink the two. I actually have created a business page that is linked to my social media, because I feel like you need to also keep your personal life and your professional life separate.
Yes.
So I've created a business page, and I do state on my personal page, if you are interested in looking for a place to rent, or you're interested in buying your immovable property, please follow this page.
Yes.
So I do believe that social media right now is the best marketing tool. So that's how I put my work out there.
Yes.
And I've actually got a lot of responses. People are interested in renting places and all of that. And I think it's things that I wouldn't have known if I haven't interlinked the two.
Yes. So is that where you generally build your relationship, so that people can see, okay, so this is the person. It's not just the property practitioner, for instance. So they maybe say they find you on Instagram, and then they're like, oh, so this is Deneil Adams, and this is the kind of content she posts. So this is who she is.
Yes.
And do you think that therefore encourages people then on the business side to tap into the professional? So they're like, okay, so this is the face behind the name.
Yes.
And now this is the name behind the badge.
Right.
And that's how you build the relationships? Or is it just like very platonic, starting out meeting somebody face to face?
No, I definitely think that even if you tell me, Deneil, okay, this is what we're going to do, you are going to go do a background check. A lot of us do that now. I'm going to go put your name in.
We are stalking
the search bar.
you.
Yes. So I have had... Actually, the lady that I leased a place to now, she actually went to my social media and she's like, oh my God, you're such a fun person. The person that I meet now is the same person that I see on social media. So I think it obviously does come together as a whole. So I'm also showing you that I'm not being fake.
Yes.
This is the person that you meet, and this is the person that you see on social media. So it's also about being organic and being real. Don't put up a farce, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned something so critical, especially in this day and age, where we try to put up this persona on social media, and then when people meet us in person, they're like, but
yeah, it's not corresponding.
Make it make sense.
Yes.
How do you keep that authenticity across the board? Because I mean, especially for you, if you reach a certain, I wouldn't know, I'm not a social media influencer by a long shot, but when you reach a certain status, let's say for instance, like your follower numbers are large, and I saw on your TikTok you have got a lot of followers. Now you reach that number, right? The pressure to please becomes a thing now, because now people are like, hey, we followed you because you are making content that we like, and you are basically just pushing out content all the time. How do you still stay grounded? How do you still remain authentic? How do you still strike that balance of being the Deneil in your home and then being the Deneil that people get to see?
I think it's not taking social media serious.
Okay.
A lot of people take it too serious, and then they end up posting what's not real. So for me, social media has always been, okay, this is not now in terms of a personal space. It's been about having fun, especially TikTok. It's not a job for me, and it's not. Yes, I do have a lot of followers on there, but I see them more as people, not just a number. So it's me putting content out there. Yes, I know you like the content, but I'm not gonna make it this thing where it's like, oh, at this hour I need to post this, because we all have lives, we're all living lives, So for me, social media is all about having fun. Don't take it too serious. A lot of people take it serious. Yes, I understand that if you're leveraging and monetizing it, but also you need to live and you need to be happy, and you need to put that out there. And I feel like that gains more traction. If you're showing people that this is my life, I'm living, I'm happy, I'm not being fake, I'm not being unreal. Just as you mentioned, you meet people in person, but their social media is so bubbly and all of this. But when you meet them, they're sour. And you're like, okay, you know? So then it shows, okay, social media is a job for you. You're portraying something that you're not. So for me, it's all about having fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Jess, you want to get in on anything there?
Yeah, I'm just listening to the conversation here today. Still trying to wake up. I never had a morning coffee or anything yet. Hey, Joy, if you hear me there at the back, hey, you're more than welcome to make me some coffee, brother. Now, but I agree with you. A lot of time people tend to take it too serious.
Yeah.
I like to use Logan Paul as an example, one of the biggest YouTubers back then. The bubble, hey, consumed him.
Definitely.
And he had to try and please each and every single day until he got to a point where he done something that was ridiculous. People ridiculed him for it, and he had to learn from that mistake. But I want to know from the property side, right?
Yes.
Do you have to study? Because I haven't heard someone saying...
Yes. Actually, there is 2 steps prior to getting into an agency. So you are going to have to write an exam. We actually do have exams coming up in November. Yes, October and November. So there is an exam that you write. And then obviously after that you can get into an agency. Yeah, there is an exam that you write. I'll just get the name for you.
Yeah, Jess, property, you know a thing or two about property, walking around these properties. Is there anything that any advice now that we've got the new year that you'd like to ask? After the show.
Okay. After, eh?
So sorry to interject. It is the professional designation exam. So once you complete that, you are able to get into an agency. Yes, there is an exam.
I'm interested to know, how did you get into the industry?
Yes.
Because, I mean, nobody...
wakes up one day.
I want to be a property practitioner.
Look, okay, let's not say nobody. That's generalizing. We don't wake up, or we don't know people that just, decide.
Look, you know me, eh? I'm that type of person. I'll watch something on YouTube and I'm like, I want to try
I want to do
this.
that. See, so how did you get into the industry? What was your journey like?
So I have been an entrepreneur for the longest time. Whatever I feel, this could be a good business idea. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. However, in terms of property, I've moved around a lot.
Okay.
Yes, I have moved around a lot, and I've always had this passion for interior designing and obviously making a house a home.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, how do I get into this to help other people? And then I was like, oh wow, real estate property practitioner. And obviously this happened beginning of this year, and I was like, wow, I really like to get into this industry, and then by God's grace I came in contact with Leon Fanzel, that is my superior.
Okay.
And he's been my mentor throughout. So he was like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then they hired me at BCI Properties. So that's where I work. So it's always been a thing of, I love property. And even last year, I think I mentioned, my long-term goal is to have my own complex.
Wow.
I would love to have my own complex.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, property is an investment.
Yes.
And it's an asset. And also having a daughter, it's something that I would love to leave for her.
Yes.
When I'm no longer here. So that was the main thing for me. And joining this industry and having a mentor like Leon, it has made things so much easier. Yeah, and I gained a lot of knowledge through him. So it's always been my dream. I just never stepped into it. So I'm grateful that I got to do it this year.
Mentorship for me is so important, identifying good mentors and actually listening to them. But what advice would you give to people out there in whatever industry that they are in terms of identifying? How did you identify that Leon is going to be your mentor? What are certain things? It would obviously be industry specific, but what are just like some general things that you would look out for in terms of identifying a mentor? Because sometimes we identify people that we look up to and we're like, okay, this is my mentor, and then we find out like in the journey, like, this wasn't a good pick.
Right.
But from what you've learned, especially in a professional setting, what were the things that you identified in, for instance, like with Leon or any mentor, that you would advise another person when identifying a mentor and especially entering into a profession?
Right.
Yeah.
I would definitely say availability. He made himself available to me in regards to, okay, so if I'm stuck here, if I'm with a client here and I might not know what's going on here, and I'm able to call you, he would actually walk out of a meeting, answer my question, okay, Deneil, this is what you need to do, that is what you need to do. So for me, firstly, it's availability. And then interest in seeing growth in the individual. So we would have calls. Okay, you would sit with me step by step. You need to do this. You need to do that. Study this. Study that. So for me, the two key things was obviously the interest and the availability. A lot of people also can be fake in the beginning. Oh, okay, I'm going to help you here and there. And as soon as you reach a level where they are, they now want to shut you down, or they want to, stab you in the back, this and that. And I think that's what you were drifting towards. But with him, there's a lot of genuineness. And me being an empath, I can sense people's energies. So a lot of genuineness and professionalism, which I respect a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned your daughter, so you do have a daughter, and you were saying to me before we went on live, you were like, that is my lifeline.
Yes.
Right? So do you care sharing a little more about your daughter and the relationship that you have with your daughter? Because you said that you mentioned something important, leaving a legacy for her, leaving something that she can fall back on. And how do you hone that going forward? But first, an introduction of who your daughter is, the relationship, what it's like, and how you own that relationship.
Yes. So I've got a 10-year-old. Yes, her name is Amaris. A beautiful soul. She's very friendly, very friendly. She does very well in sports and academics, which is great as a parent.
Just a quick question. Were you good at sport and academics?
Sports, yeah.
Okay.
Academics, yeah.
You were good enough.
I was good enough.
Yeah,
you made it. That's all
that
matters.
That's all that matters. She really keeps me going. She's been the reason for a lot of my accomplishments. I love it, but she's my motivation. Yes, on the days where I feel like, because obviously we're human, there are those days where we feel like, oh, I don't want to do anything today, I don't want to get up. But then remembering, okay, you have a little human depending on you.
Yes.
You have to get up and you have to do and get things done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my little person. She's not so little; she's as tall as I am. But yeah,
Sure.
we keep her pushing. We keep her pushing.
Does she share like similar personality traits with you, or is she like a completely
She's the
different?
opposite of me.
Wow,
she's the opposite of me.
So you guys balance each other out perfectly.
We do. She's very. She's not scared of anything.
Oh,
She's not. Like, I nearly got a heart attack last year when we went to Gold Reef City, and she went on the yellow ride. I don't know what's it called. That thing is crazy. And on the anaconda. And then I was like, child, no. Because I was watching from a distance. And I was like, I'm going on this thing. So she's
the loopy one.
Yes.
what is that? The
The
golden
golden
loop.
Golden
Yes.
loop.
Oh
Yes,
my
there we go.
gosh.
So she's not scared of anything.
Yeah.
And she's not afraid of trying anything. Even in terms of sports, she's a very good swimmer. So my prayer for her definitely is to join the South African swimming squad.
Yes.
She's very good. She plays hockey. She plays soccer. She's very active, and sometimes I'm like, God, relax. But she's the opposite of me. But we, like you say, we balance each other out, definitely.
So a lot of the times parents want to project their desires onto their kids, right? But you, like for instance, like
I am that parent.
you see.
I am him, he's I.
But obviously, I'm not a parent. You two are the parents in the room. But a lot of the times, but it's always from a good place, because you know what the potential is, for instance. But now you say, like in your case, that your daughter is the complete opposite of you, right?
Yes.
She is almost, I can say, a daredevil. She wants to try everything. How do you keep yourself from stopping her, because you want the best for your daughter? And we can clearly see that. But how do you stop yourself as a parent from not interfering with your child and her dreams and her goals, but also protecting her from what the dangers that you know that she's ignorant to? Because I think that's so important. Besides all the things that we try to achieve as parents and as adults in our adult world, trying to meet the bills, make ends meet, set up a good career for yourself, achieve things and stuff. But you still, like you were saying, you've got this human that looks up to you, that depends on you. How do you protect her from the dangers out there that she's ignorant to, but also in the same way not stopping her from reaching her full potential?
Right. I think for me, what has helped me is you're going to try everything that you put your mind to. If you don't like it, if you fail, let's keep it moving. So she had a phase where she was into hockey, And she'd come home with bruises on her legs, and I'm like, okay, you know. But then she grew out of that phase. I'm not going to be here and say, oh, no, you can't try this, you can't try that. I want you to try everything, and that's how we actually came to her being so great at swimming, because it's something that she finally like, okay, mommy, I want to do this.
Yes.
And she's become so excellent in it. So I think don't have limits on your kids, but protect them. You need, right now, the day and age we're living in, kids are very advanced. So we need to have conversations, grown-up conversations with our kids.
Yes.
A lot of parents are scared to do that, but I would rather have that conversation with you than you hearing this on the outside. Especially with social media. A lot of things are being put out there. Our kids even hear about sex and all of those conversations that we're supposed to be having with our children. So you'd rather have that conversation first than your child hearing it on the outside. So protect them. And have honest conversations.
Yes.
Obviously, based on your experience as an individual, what you've been through in life. Sit down, because nothing is new under the sun. That's something we must remember.
Definitely.
Whatever you went through, there's a possibility your child might go through it. So guide them and say prevention is better than cure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We speak about aspirations. Wait, just before we do that, do you want to say anything in terms of the children aspect and...
No.
How do you prevent that? Like, knowing that there's dangers out there. I know that you with your son, you do have desires and dreams for your child. And then Saint goes in a different direction. He's at basketball, just as an example, right? Like,
it's not the example, it's true. It's
Jesse
true.
is a huge football fan, and he also pursued football professionally. And so he would obviously desire, I know that every football father says that about their sons. Nah, this boy's going to play football.
Yes.
And now you see that your child actually... Okay, obviously he's still very young.
Yeah.
The children go through phases. Now he's into basketball. But how do you also then facilitate that? I know you do it with a very sore heart. But you facilitate that, but also at the same time protecting him, because you know that, for instance, as an example, South Africa doesn't really have the means for... somebody to pursue basketball professionally on that level. So you know this. He doesn't. He's just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
How do you guide your child, but also don't just shut them down?
So firstly, I'll start off with, I have a wife. She guides me and
Step number one. Get you a wife that will guide you.
So when I push him for football, she's like, just let the child do what he wants to do.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the important thing. Allow them to explore, allow them to do what they want to do, because you never want to get to a point where they say, but I wanted to do that and you forced me to do this.
Right.
Yes.
And now they end up doing something that they don't enjoy. So I feel like let them do what they want to do. Like with him, it's basketball at this point in time. He will grow out of it. He'll grow out of it.
And then he grows into it.
Nah, but if he grows into it, it's another thing. You just have to support, do what is expected. If push comes to shove, we move to the US, we look for colleges that side, schools that side, and he pursues it. As long as he's good at it, I'm not going to move if the boys are not that great at it, you know.
But that's the thing.
But you have to support. I use my life as an example. If my
Yes.
parents never supported me, I was never going to be in Brazil, England, Belgium, Germany,
Yes.
all these countries.
Yes.
And it's because of their support I was able to travel and play football this way. And yeah, that's all I want for my child as well, to be able to support him. Even if he comes and says, look, this is what I want to do, and it hurts me inside, I'm going to have to take money out and make the brother do it.
Do it, yeah. Because it could just, like you were saying, it could just become like the next LeBron James, Michael Jordan kind of vibes, no? But you mentioned something so important, opening your child up to the world, and the world is your oyster. And now with the whole thing of globalization, the world has literally become a village. You know, you see it on social media especially. Anybody from across the world can see your content, and you guys can become friends or acquaintances. How does that open up your pool of opportunity when you look at it from a global market? maybe not professionally from a property practitioner perspective, because obviously property law is different from, but you can still give advice to somebody maybe who's in Australia who asks you for advice on this, that and the other. Maybe somebody wants to move to South Africa. They can, it's just, by the way, if you are from another place, you know what I'm saying, Deneil's details are down in the description. Give her an email. If you are planning to move down to South Africa, give Deneil and send her an email. But it opens up your world to so many endless possibilities. Definitely, right? How do you identify those opportunities? And because even now with the whole property, entering into the property space, you identified an opportunity and you went ahead and you pursued it. On social media, it's now virtually, and there's so much more opportunity. Like you were saying, that marketing is now on social media. But how do you identify the right opportunities and pursue those?
I feel like you'd always be able to, if you use your intuition, you'll be able to pick up what's right and what's wrong. So you have to be very in tune with yourself.
Yeah, don't just reply to those people that say, hey, listen, come down to Belgium. We've got a job for you.
Book your flights and all that. Next
You'll
thing,
be swindled,
you're on the news, you know. So obviously trusting your intuition. And I do believe that now internationally you have a voice through social media. For example, with my charity. When I posted last year, so I ran 3 events throughout the year, so it would be Easter, winter, and Christmas. So with the winter, just before the winter charity drive, I posted on my social media, and I got a donation from the States. You know, so it does broaden obviously your aspects and stuff like that. So it's a very great platform, and also now, in terms of, like I said, you'd be able to sense and pick up when someone's trying to swindle you on social media. And luckily for me, with my charity, when I'm putting out there, okay, I'm having this event, I'm open to donations, I have things to back it up. I've got pictures, I've got videos of our previous charity drives. So you'll be able to pick up where something is fraudulent or not.
Definitely. Now, with this whole thing of the international platforms and being and having that pool of opportunity open up to you, and also identifying the do's and the don'ts, right? Coming back to the relationship that you have with your daughter, because now obviously, firstly, does she have social media?
She's got TikTok. She does have TikTok, but I manage the accounts.
I see. And so those honest conversations that you have with your kids, because you are not going to be there all the time. And they are going to make friends internationally, and they are going to get into spaces that you do not always have control over. But how do you narrow in and have those hard conversations, what some parents would deem as difficult to have with your child, and to have that open relationship with her, but still maintaining the mother-daughter balance, but also the friendship, that she can trust you.
Because kids can quickly think you're friends and forget the roles. In terms of, like you said, making friends internationally and all that, social media, for me right now, yes, you can have it, but I do not allow your comment section to be on, direct messages to be on, none of that. Yes, you can like a video and all of that. You can watch videos, but I don't want her interacting with, because we've got pedophiles and all of that, to be real. We've got a lot of weird people on social media.
Definitely.
So I do not allow that. In terms of, like I said, going back to what I said earlier, it's about having a very organic relationship with her. So we're going to speak about everything. I'm going to let you know, if you're going to do this, everything has cause and effect. To every action, there's an equal reaction. So let's not do this. Prevention is better than cure. Let's not go into certain things. And also with her coming into her teenage years, certain conversations need to be had. Like I said, I don't want you to go into the street and now your friend is going to tell you about this and that. For example, she came to me and she asked me, what is a transgender? I mean, a child of 10 years old. I wasn't thinking about those things when I was 10. She asked me about homosexuality. She asked me about all of those things. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, you're too young to know about this.
Don't ask me those questions.
Don't ask me these questions. Where did you hear this? No. And also, that's how a lot of kids are very scared to come to their parents. Myself, I'm one of those, because I I was scared to have certain conversations with my parents, but I had to learn through mistakes.
Yes.
And that's something that I don't want for us. So obviously, honest conversations, real conversations.
Yes.
We're not going to sugarcoat anything.
Definitely. Your current aspirations for where you are now, the goals that you see yourself, I don't know, are you the kind of person that sets those 5-year, 10-year goals, or are you more like a honing in kind of person?
Yeah.
People say, many a times we aren't present because we're always looking towards the future. And I think that being present is also just as important, but also planning for the future. But your current aspirations at this present moment, you mentioned earlier with the whole property thing that you would like to own a complex, and those are like goals that you foresee for the future.
Yes.
But working on, what is it that you're working on now, whether it be for your charity, whether it be as a property practitioner, or whether it be as a social media influencer, as a mother, as a friend, those kinds of things?
So I'm going to go section by section.
Sure.
So obviously in my charity, definitely one of my goals are to have a recreational center.
Okay.
So that's more like long-term goal. I definitely want to get abused women and children, homeless, into the recreational center and teach them a trade.
Yes.
A lot of people just want to get people in, feed them, this and that. But what can I do beyond this?
Yeah.
I want to teach you how to fish,
yes,
basically.
Yes.
So get people in, teach them a trade. And obviously, like, my heart is for women and children. Also based on past experience. Abused women, abused children, getting them into this facility and helping them, and giving them a safe place. So that's, in terms of my charity, that's one of my goals. Personal goal, definitely short term, I am definitely keen on becoming a homeowner this year. I would love to buy my first property. And I think that's where my job and my personal goal now comes. They're interlinked.
Yes.
I definitely want to get my first home this year. And in terms of a mom, I believe I'm doing my best, but I feel like I can become better.
Okay.
So goal there definitely to work on myself to become a better mom for my daughter. A lot of us, unfortunately, through even our childhood, I'm going to say trauma, and that's a big word, but it affects us how we are in our adulthood.
Definitely.
And that's why we have a lot of parents that's not connected to their children. I'm just going to be a parent. I'm just going to do what I have to do, but I don't have a relationship with you. So definitely work on myself to become a better mom. And career, my goal, I would love to say, is to become the top agent in South Africa. Why not?
Yes, why not? Whoop, whoop, pew, 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 pew. There's my sound effect again. Pew, 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 pew. Deneil Adams wins the award for Best Property Practitioner in
Why
South Africa. Hello.
Award for Mother Teresa, bringing in them people in.
I just want to say that she was on our show first. So when she gets those awards and she's making it big and stuff, you come back here on the 20th of April 2022 on the Inside Show. Deneil was on the Whensday warm-up. Jess, any comments that you have there? We don't have any comments in the comment section. Folks are just out here watching, paying careful attention. Then they're going to scrutinize it and be like, you said this. You said the instead of eh.
Yes.
People be like that. It sounds like a joke now.
No,
people
really.
Be like that. Now, I don't know, I was a bit late, but on the social media side, I just wanted to know, for someone that wants to get into the social media space, what advice would you give them in getting started and kicking off that journey? I'm sorry if you did answer the question already.
No, I did not.
Okay, but for someone getting into the space, what advice would you give them to get kicked off, and advice also to stay grounded, not to...
Right. Definitely something weird. I only came into my social media at 24. I was never exposed to social media.
You're not late, girl. It's cool.
Right? So I would definitely say no rush.
Late bloomers. Yes. Late social media bloomers.
I think I only got an Instagram account in 2018.
Yeah.
TikTok I only got when the pandemic started because, what were we doing with our time? So I would definitely say don't rush and be as real as possible. I know there's a lot of things on social media like, flashy cars, flashy house, now it's the constant partying and popping bottles and all of that. Stay grounded.
Yes.
Post organic stuff. I love accounts that post random pictures of art or like whatever you're doing throughout the day and stuff like that. not now I have to go and get a full face beat just to take a picture and then I go and wash my face afterwards. Like, so
yeah.
Be true to yourself and put real content out there. The people that like what you follow, they'll be consistent.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Not, oh, she's not posting such content anymore, I'm going to unfollow her. So real content and just be organic. Yeah.
Real content brings real people.
Definitely. Love that.
Yes.
Love that.
Pew, 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 pew.
Love it.
And then just one more thing. How did you get into social media? How did you start? Were you bored at home the one day?
I was bored.
And you're like, let's just try this thing.
I was bored. I think the first picture I actually posted was me. I went to a friend's banquet, matric banquet, so she took me as a partner. And I just posted it, and I was like, okay. Then I posted maybe like every second or third week, And then obviously when the pandemic started, I was like, okay, let me take more pictures, post, and then I became more frequent in posting. And then I actually used my Instagram. What I used to do giveaways. So when the pandemic started, because I was like, there's a lot of people struggling right now. Let me run competitions.
Yes.
And I'd give away like 1,000, 1,500. So there also I gained followers.
Sure,
So
I should have followed you back in the day.
So I think it just started off as fun.
Yeah.
And I don't take it serious. Up until today, I don't take it serious, And like I said, for me, my followers are people that are actually interested in my life. I don't take them as a number. So I'll put content out there that they like and that I like. But it's not a job for me. No, it's not a job.
And what kind of things do you post on TikTok?
You girl.
Do you dance?
I know that's for my daughter.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna.
I just want to know, like, identify your strengths.
Oh my word! I like to believe I'm a great cook.
Okay.
Yes. So I.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna follow you. I love food. Us Jessie, I watch mukbangs the whole day.
The girls are listening for chicken feet and.
Oh my goodness! so definitely I. On my TikTok, you'll find, the voiceovers, role play, acting. And then obviously, I'm on a natural hair journey. I know I've got a wig on today, but,
cool.
protective style. So do's and don'ts on your natural hair and all of that. So it's basically like 3 aspects: natural hair, journey, my cooking, and then fun times with my daughter. And yeah. So.
Lekker.
Nothing intense.
Lekker. Jess?
We got Vernon Mukasa Batende. Sorry if I butcher that, brother. I do apologize. He says, beautiful interview, Deneil. Great lessons on business, mentorship, responsible social media marketing, parenting. All the very best on your journey.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
great.
you for that compliment and
Thank you.
comment. It was, we're going to close. It's almost, can you believe?
Wow.
An hour has passed. No
And I was
ways. We
nervous.
feel robbed.
Time goes
For
quick,
what?
eh?
Look at you,
No.
natural.
Wow.
But what advice would you give for people who are currently in a stuck position, especially? I'm not saying like the cliche is, what advice would you give for somebody who wants to be a property practitioner? Not everybody wants to be a property practitioner that's watching us, but there's people who are in a stuck position.
Right.
Not just with Pedro, because Pedro price
Yeah.
Oh,
And
shots
it's high.
fired. Bomb. But people who are in a stuck position in their personal lives, professionally, you said that you've got a passion for women and children, and many women, and I know for men as well, because we don't want to also now diminish the fact that there's men around us, and men are also struggling. We saw it, the past, this with Ricky Rick, the whole incident that happened with him. We know that there's people are struggling mentally, and mental health is a big concern, and so we try to push it as much as possible. But advice that you would give to people who are in a stuck position, how do you get out? How do you first identify that you are in a stuck position? Because remember, they say that admittance is the first step to recovery. That you are in a stuck position, a stuck relationship, a stuck job. You feel stuck at this place. There's no movement. You're not doing what you enjoy. A stuck country. What advice do you have for people who are in a stuck position?
So for me, firstly, I want to put it in 2 parts.
Okay.
If you feel stuck in a situation where, for example, your job, or you're studying. If you feel stuck where you're studying, obviously, you need to remember why you started and remember the end goal. Okay? For me, in terms of relationship, and those other areas where you're involved with people and stuff like that.
Yes.
If that is not beneficial to you, step back. Anything that is not serving you, get out of it.
Yes.
Anything that finds you in a constant loop, constant cycle, remove yourself from it. It's obviously easier said than done, but you don't want to be 5 years from now in the same position.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And then in terms of education, you're studying towards something, you feel stuck. Just remember why you started, and remember, okay, my end goal here, I'm getting a degree, I'm getting a master's, and I'm going into the next step of my life.
Yes.
So remember why you started. It's not easy. Nothing that is worth it comes easy.
Definitely.
And yes, I do understand a lot. Right now, even with myself, I've been communicating with a lot of people that are struggling mentally, you know, and unfortunately, depression is very high right now, especially with people our age. So just remembering why you started and remember the end goal. A lot of people forget about the end goal. And then I think that will propel you to achieving. But if it's anything that is not beneficial to you,
yes,
get out of it.
Yes.
Get out of it. If it's not causing you to evolve, grow, just get out of it. It's a waste of time.
I asked another question, but that was like on my WhatsApp. And I want to ask you the question. Maybe you can answer it. Advice for people. I'm not just saying like for guys or for a partner or whatever. I'm saying for people in general who come across a strong, independent woman. What do you do with a strong, independent woman? That could be in the male-dominated spaces. It could be among women who are in the presence of a strong, independent woman. What would you say? How do you deal or how do you handle a strong, independent woman in a way that is not toxic, that is not domineering, and that is not snappy?
Right. And in terms of relationships, if you are dating an independent woman, understand we are still emotional beings.
Yes.
Support her.
Yes.
Be there for her. Because being independent usually comes from a lot of things that growing up you don't realize. I had to be on fight and flight mode, or I had to be this way, I had to be that way, I didn't get the attention at home, I didn't this and that. People just think, oh, she's independent, she's striving.
Yes.
A lot of those come as, I don't know what word I could use right now.
It's like defense mechanisms,
yes,
or it
yes.
becomes second nature to you. Yeah.
Yes. So that woman still needs love, she still needs support, she still needs validation. Don't think because I'm independent, I'm strong and I got it all figured out and I'm put together.
Yes.
No, I still need love. I still want to be babied, you know, in terms of relationship. But other aspects, I would definitely say just embrace her, you know. And being independent now in this day and age is something that has become toxic. Like, oh, she doesn't need anyone, she doesn't this. That is the wrong mindset. We still need people, we still need support, we still need love.
Awesome. I love that. So how do you handle a strong, independent woman? Remember that she needs validation, that she needs love, and she's also an emotional being. And then in terms of just in general, embrace her. Ladies, if you are in the presence of a friend who is a strong woman, embrace her, because we can learn from each other.
Yes.
As long as you're not that strong, independent woman that is trying to now dominate everybody and you're not trying to take over the show and there's watch yourself. Jess, we've got a comment there to end it off.
Latoya Perry says, absolutely beautiful indeed. So motivating. Bless you. Bless your heart, Deneil.
Thank you.
Shout out.
These are my CRC members, church members.
Oh, yes. Cool. Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any shout outs that you want to do on the show? Please give a shout out.
Check their list out now at this point.
Before you go into your shout outs, please do note that Deneil's contact details, her Instagram handle, her foundation handle, which is God's Gift Foundation, it's all in the description below. So please do go and check it out. And also the email address to her workplace, which is BCI Properties. It's down in the description. So please do give her a follow and get in touch. You can see she's so easy to talk to. She's a liquor person. You could be friends. I don't know how she deals with making friends, but maybe you never know.
Yeah.
So what was the question that you were going to ask, Jess? Or what were you going to say?
You said I should do a shout out.
Shout outs.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
So definitely, I don't have a long list. I've got a very tiny circle. So definitely my daughter, she said she's going to watch on YouTube when she gets a break at school.
Cool.
Family, sisters, my parents, and the special person in my life, he knows himself.
Cool.
It's so shy.
Look at Deneil now, leaving us with that one. Just let it.
Little bit of
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
he knows
maybe
himself.
maybe in the near future we can get like a follow-up interview.
Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe
So how
when
did
they-
it go?
How is it going? Maybe the two of them.
Yeah, togetherness.
We're just putting it out there. We're putting it out there. But thank you so much, Deneil. It was an absolute pleasure hosting you this morning. You truly are a strong, independent woman.
Thank you.
You are kind-hearted. You can clearly see it, and it's not just in your words; it's in your actions. The things that you do. You don't let life stop you. I mean, something very significant that you mentioned is that during the pandemic, when we went into lockdown for the very first time, and it was Easter time, you still made it a duty to go out and to go and hand out Easter eggs, just to bring light and to bring love back into people's hearts and to warm their hearts. And so we just want to say thank you so much. We really pray that God blesses you on your journey ahead, that everything that you touch and do, that it will be blessed. With your relationship, wherever God leads you with this, may it be blessed. May it bring forth many wonderful fruits, and even for your daughter, protection over the two of you.
Thank you.
And Jess, do you have any closing remarks there for Deneil?
On my side, I wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much.
More houses are going to go. Yes.
Amen.
Let more houses go.
Amen.
Let them
Amen.
go. And yeah, that God just continues to hold you, protect you,
Amen.
and continue blessing you in your journey and whatever
Thank you
you
so
do.
much.
That the best shall just come out.
Amen.
And my apologies once again for being late. And just on a side note to all my Man United fans out there.
Too soon. Too soon.
Yes, we got it.
I would like to mention
Yes.
this Friday I am doing because due to the weather that we had on this weekend, I couldn't do the charity drive. So I will be handing out Easter eggs on Friday in Eldorado Park from 3 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Is there a specific meeting point?
No,
or?
I do at least 5 extensions. So
Okay.
usually extension 6, Hillbrow Flats, extension 4, and extension 3. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. And then if you do want to contribute towards that drive, please do send Deneil. You've got her details. It's down in the description.
Yes.
I think Instagram would be best.
Yes.
On your Instagram handle, or can they send it to your business email?
They can send it to God's_gifts_foundation. That's the
Yes.
charity page. Yes.
So please do follow the charity page. It's at God's_gifts with an S at the end _foundation.
Yes.
Please do send a message to her if you'd like to contribute or you'd like to help out in any way, which form. And thank you so much, Deneil. Once again, it
Thank
was a
you.
pleasure having you here. We've got 2 more comments, Jess, that you want to round it up quickly, and then we're gonna
let's send
sign
off
out.
these comments real quick. Okay. Guys, names. Yo. Alanisha says such
I
an
think
amazing.
it's Alincia.
Alanisha, that's the one. Well done, girl. That's why you got that seat there where you got it. And I'm your sidekick, eh? Such an amazing talk. It is very much appreciated for your time and wisdom. God bless you and your hustle, Deneil.
Amen.
Then Latoya says again, independent women need love and support as well. All the best for your journey.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, Deneil. It was an absolute pleasure. Hopefully, we get you back on here,
Yes,
and we'd like
I'd
to
love
keep
that.
into contact with you.
Contact.
Find out contact
Yes, man.
with you to find out what is happening in the
Yeah.
future. But thank you so much, everybody. Until next week, we do have the Wednesday warm-up. But this Friday, we have got Caitlin Rooskrantz,
Yes.
the gold medalist on the Unks show, In Your Fields with the Unk. This Friday, we've got Caitlin Rooskrantz on the show. And then we've got the Gab
The
Fest
Gab-
at
Hey!
12
A
p.m.
skit, yeah.
on Friday as
If you
well.
like a
But
lekker
anyway,
praatjies.
yeah, if you guys like that liquor praatjies, with the tea sips tea and stuff like that, do tune in. But the Wednesday warm up again next week, Wednesday. Thank you so much. Until next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.